Welcome to the Language Alchemy Friday Live. My name is Alejandra Siroca of languagealchemy.com, and I teach you how to have more peace and more harmony in your life and your relationships through transformative communication. And today we are going to talk about how to prepare yourself to socialize consciously. I chose this topic because as things are opening up, I really want to help you enjoy yourself when you're gathering with people in the flesh, in person, especially if you are in the US. I know that if you are listening or watching from other countries, that may not be a possibility right now. But guess what? You can still have useful tools so that when things open up in your country, then you'll be prepared. With so many things opening up here in the United States, where I am in California, you are probably receiving invitations to gatherings of all sorts so that you can see people again in person. But let's be honest, many of us have not left our homes in more than a year and change. And so that might be you as well. Most likely that is you. And if you're feeling like your socializing muscle is a little rusty, oh, it probably is. The thing is that during this past year, while we communicated with people and we socialized with people, we spent most of the time socializing and communicating with people in a different way. Or we were with our little bubbles. Like, for example, for me, my little bubble was my husband, my beloved Matthew, and myself. That was the little bubble. Probably did too, mediated by some kind of device that had a screen. And when we communicated with one another through a screen, we had to adjust. So, for example, some of the things that you did, whether you're aware or not that you did this, you could only see people from the chest up, like you're seeing me right now. Or you could hear other people's tone of voice, but sometimes the internet wasn't great and you couldn't really have access to everything that people were saying. And another thing that you did and you learned to adjust to this was to constantly take turns and to try to not interrupt people and try to let others speak and then let them finish their sentence. And then you try to look for the visual cues in their face when they were done or when they had finished exhaling, and then you jumped in. Another thing that you probably did was that you probably multitasked while you were socializing with others. Maybe an email came in or, one of those floating things, messages on your screen, and you tended to that too while you were socializing with others. And you're so used to multitasking that maybe you're doing that right now. And if you are, I want to ask you to pay attention because today I'm going to help you prepare to socialize consciously as you're getting all these invitations to see people again. One of the things you also had to do while you were socializing through a device was that you had to learn how to say something over a short period of time. So, for example, if you were in a breakout room and you only had 2 minutes, you had to talk about maybe very important things in just those 2 minutes, 120 seconds that you had allotted or that the facilitator had allotted to what you were going to share. And you may even recall when you had for example, a Zoom meeting or a training where the facilitator put you in a breakout room and the facilitator prepared this wonderful ice breaking exercise and you totally rebelled against it and said, no, I'm not going to do it. So you had the 3 minutes to do the icebreaker, but you wanted to talk about something different. So I'd love to know first if you had any of these experiences where you had to socialize and adjust and socialize on Zoom. So I'm just checking the chat here to see if there was anything here. Okay. Hi, Maria. It's so great to see you, to have you here, and Sam as well. So I want to ask you, what kind of events did you attend on Zoom? Write it on the comments because I attended milestone birthdays, I attended funerals, I attended fundraising events, trainings, yoga classes, meditation retreats, game nights, family reunions, and I'd like to hear from you. What did you attend over Zoom that had you communicate in all these different ways? You adjusted and you were able to communicate. And now, so I want to see. So, Maria, you're saying yes, that's happened at work events and few social events. Yeah. And of course, you adjusted to communicating in these ways. And so if you're feeling a little nervous, a little antsy about socializing in person again, or a combination of nervousness, excitement, and anxiety, guess what? You are completely human. You are not alone. I have experienced that too. And every coaching client that I have been working with in the last month have been telling me how they've been feeling about these upcoming gatherings in person. And and then Sam, you said posture alignment class and happy hours. You attended happy hours over Zoom, of course. Yeah, okay, let's get right into the teaching. When we are socializing in person, there are so many things that are calling our attention because there are so many things that are happening at the same time. And at times, it can be taxing for our nervous system and for our minds because we haven't been doing this for over a year. And that's why we need to prepare. We need to prepare our minds, we need to prepare our hearts, and we need to prepare our nervous systems for going out there and meeting people in person again in gatherings where there are going to be multiple people. So let me ask you this. Whether you've had an invitation and you've already gone to such a gathering, or um, whether you are going to a gathering because you have been invited to one, how are you preparing? How are you preparing to go to these in-person, multiple people gathering where there are people that you're going to see that you haven't seen perhaps in a year, over a year, or even longer, or and people who were outside your bubble? So write it in the comments. What are you doing right now to prepare for these in-person gatherings? Are you considering what you're going to wear, what your hair is going to look like, or if it's a potluck, what kind of food you're going to bring? Is that how you're preparing? There's nothing wrong with that. Those are details that are important too. And Maria, you're saying not preparing at all, just going with the flow. And that could be beautiful too, just going with the flow. And while it's important to go with the flow, that flow might be more enjoyable actually if we do a few little things before we gather with people. Because when you consider actually how you are going to gather with people and how you're going to communicate with people, guess what happens? You can not only enjoy yourself, but you can feel more of a sense of deeper connection. And connection is one of our most important determinants of well-being for us human beings. Connection is one of our greatest values. So I want to share with you how to prepare so that you can feel that deeper sense of connection with people. And Sam, you wrote you got some new clothes. I'm sure a lot of people are getting new clothes now after a year of wearing sweatpants or just nice tops, but maybe workout clothes on the bottom. couple of weeks ago, I was invited to an in-person gathering, and this is how I prepared, and the result of it was just wonderful sense of connection. I felt so fulfilled and energized coming back home. So it paid off for me. I know it can pay off for you as well. So if you have pen and paper, this is the time to grab it because I'm going to share 5 steps for you to prepare to socialize consciously as you see people in the flesh again in multitudes, or at least, a group of people that's outside your bubble. So first of all, number one, think about the people that you are going to meet and bring them to mind. See their faces, visualize their faces. What do they look like? Are they people that you've known for a long time? And as you're visualizing their faces, let those feelings start to come up. What would it be like to see them again? And actually, step number 2, what would you like to feel as you see people again? People whom you have not seen for over a year. Maybe you would like to feel that sense of connection. How would you like to feel in your body? Maybe you want to feel relaxed. How would you like to feel in your energy? Maybe flowy, like Maria. And maybe you want to feel present as you are there and really focus on them and the stories that they have for you, or the connection or the questions that they have for you. Number 3, once you know what the feelings are that you want to be experiencing as you see people again, then consider the relational values while you are connecting to people. So these could be relational values that of fun or appreciation or joy or a deep sense of community, like communal resilience, like we are doing this, we've done this, we're all well. And it could be a relational value of celebration, celebrating one another. So think about the relational values that you would like to fulfill for yourself as you are getting together with people again. And then number 4, make a commitment to let your feelings and your relational values guide your communication, so that your communication as you go into these gatherings is anchored in your feelings that you would like to experience and the relational values that you would like to fulfill. And as you enter the gathering, this is number 5, as you're about there, maybe you're leaving your car and you're ringing the bell or opening the door, or you see the host open the door, or you're, climbing up the steps towards the door, something like that, or you see that big group of people, just take a moment, just one simple moment, and breathe in those feelings and values that you have prepared. Because when you do that, you are more likely to experience those. Remember, I told you that I went to a gathering a few weeks ago. This is how I prepared. And when I left, I felt exactly what I wanted to feel in that gathering. And any kind of feelings of, like anxiety or nervousness, they were not there because my mind wasn't focused on those. My mind was focused on the relational values and the feelings I wanted to fulfill for myself and also for others in that gathering. So, does it feel doable? DM me, let me know if this feels doable or not. I want to let you know that I put together a 4-week free series on how to communicate with transformative communication tools and how to socialize consciously as things are opening up and you're going to be seeing people. So in one of the series, I talk about how to socialize consciously with family members with whom you may have a tricky dynamic. And in another one, how to cultivate and preserve your energy, whether you are an extrovert, an introvert, or an ambivert. And in another one, how to cultivate relational values and what relational values are now that you're going out, and they're going to be different ones depending on the kind of people that you're going to encounter. Now, these tools are completely free, and I am sharing them only with people in my mailing list. During the month of June, I'm sending all these emails with 3-minute videos and these transformative communication tools. If you have received invitations to in-person gatherings and you're considering the possibility of socializing consciously, I know these tools are going to be useful for you. And if you hear a sound right now in the background, that's my cat trying to pound on the door and trying to get in here and maybe be live with me. So if you haven't signed up for the Language Alchemy mailing list, you have time. You're going to receive these videos during the month of June so that they can help you get out of your house and enjoy connecting with people in an authentic way. Thank you so, so much for being here with me. Sam, Maria, thank you. And thank you, Maria. Maria just said, I appreciate these instructional videos as your voice is very calming. Oh, that just means the world to me. Thank you so much. That's why I do it. I want to help as much as I can and contribute to you to have peace and harmony in your life and your relationships in an authentic way. Thank you. Have a beautiful Friday.